Hi everybody, I think that many of you have tried this kind of Kinder Bueno bar. Let's open it up. We're gonna make the exact same one, just in a big size. But first you need to try it. On the outside we have chocolate, then a waffle layer with nut paste, and then the cream itself, which is also pretty nutty. The first thing we need is a big, huge mold. Our dad's gonna make it for us from this huge pipe. Using a tape measure, we measure out a meter of 20 and mark it with a marker. From the side, we drill a hole with a screwdriver and then cut the pipe with a jigsaw. Now we're going to draw along and cut the pipe into exactly 2 parts. Now we will make a stand out of wood. To do this, we cut a large board into 2 parts, circle the outer diameter of the pipe, and cut it with the jigsaw. With sandpaper, we knock down all of the burrs. 2 such details are needed. We need a wide board to put between them, and tighten everything with screws. Two large semicircles were also carved out of wood, and 3 smaller ones, but at the same time they are twice as wide. We put half of the pipe on the stand, lubricate a large semicircle with glue, and put it into the pipe. Additionally, we fix them with screws. We put the missing parts in, and our form is ready. But in order to be used, we take some small half circles and wrap them with some cling film. Done. Then we lubricate our mold with some oil. We're going to smear it along the walls. And then glue down some parchment paper. Then we put everything back in its place. Let's start our cooking with the nuts. There are 20 kilograms of them here. We transfer them into a meat grinder. And grind them through a small nozzle. Now we'll need a mélange, sugar, and cocoa. We collect 1 kilogram of crushed nuts, then turn on the mélange and pour them in. By the way, at first while the mass is dry, it can stop. Therefore, we'll help it out. Then add in some sugar and cocoa powder. After about 40 minutes, we'll get a chocolate nut paste. Let's tilt our mélange and put all of the paste into a pan. Thus, we turn 10 kilograms of nuts into the paste. Done. Now let's make our dough for the waffles. We break 48 eggs into a big gastro pan. Add 3 kilograms of sugar. For taste, we'll use some vanilla sugar. And then we go to the butter. Cut off 1.5 kilograms and put it into a saucepan. Also add 1 kilogram of margarine. Let's put all this onto the stove. Melt and pour into our big catering pan. Let's whisk our mix until it's smooth. Now we just need to pour in 3 kilograms of flour. And then finally knead the dough. Done. We scoop it up with a spoon and put it into our waffle iron. We close them. And after 3 minutes, they're ready. You can get them out. And then we open up our nut paste and spread a thick layer onto the waffle. Then we glue it inside of the mold. We worked with like a conveyor belt really, and while one was making waffles, 4 waffle irons at once, the second was putting them into a mold until it was completely filled. Now let's go to the cream. We open up some bottled chicken eggs and pour them into a bowl. There are 20 eggs in each bottle, and so we have 10 of them in total. Pour in 3 kilograms of flour and mix it all with a mixer until smooth. And then we made this thicker, and we will cook the cream in such a huge saucepan. We take a lot of milk out of the refrigerator. Open them up and pour them into a large saucepan. Then we put this under the burner, cover with the lid, and turn on the gas. As soon as the milk is heated, we add in 12 kilograms of sugar to it. And mix it all with a construction mixer. Without stopping stirring, pour in the thickener into a thin stream. You also need to melt 3 kilograms of butter. Pour this into the cream. And here are the remaining crushed nuts. Mix them into our cream. You gotta do this until it's smooth. It's already thickened up, so we pour it into our mold. We spread out the waffles with the remaining nut paste and put it on top of the cream. That's it, we send our mold into the freezer. Two days later, everything's hardened up. Therefore, we move on to the next step. We're gonna open up some milk chocolate and send it into a Marmite. Turn it on so that it starts to heat up, and stirring constantly, melt that chocolate. Now it's liquid, but to make it even better on the bar, you need to add some oil. And mix. It's much more liquidy now. Now it's time to get the mold out of the freezer. We transfer the liquid chocolate onto the waffles and smear it around. We keep doing this until we cover the entire surface with chocolate. Now let's put some more chocolate in the Marmite. We put a sheet of chipboard on top of the bar and press it as hard as possible with stretch film. we lower the form to the floor. And then we already turn it over into this little thing covered with film. Now the stretch film can be removed. Carefully lift up the mold. And tear off the parchment. And open up the film around that wooden semicircle. We screw a self-tapping screw into it and take it out. And then we remove the film itself. The extra milk chocolate pellets have already been melted. Therefore, we scoop milk chocolate with a measuring cup and just pour it all over our bar. We do one more layer. And then just let the chocolate harden. Now we just need to repeat only these thin strips of dark chocolate. Therefore, put a bowl on a steam bath, put some dark chocolate into it. And constantly stirring, melt it. Our already liquid chocolate is poured into a pastry bag. And we pour this over the bar. That's it, our giant Kinder Bueno is finally ready. I think it turned out just perfect, you guys. Well, let's cut off a piece. Hello everybody, today we got a giant sturgeon weighing 44 kilograms. A sturgeon of this size is very rare, and it looks just like some kind of prehistoric fish, with armor on its head and such big spikes on its back. We turn it onto its side, cut it under the fin, and move it up towards the head. Turn it over on its other side, and cut through the same way under the second bit. And now we need to kill the ridge. Done. We don't throw the head out. Let's do this. If there are 200,000 likes on this video, then in the next video we will cook a royal ear in a cauldron from this hefty head. And now we cut off the spikes. From above, we make a vertical incision to the ridge. And do exactly the same thing one more time, only so that a gray stripe remains in the middle. We also cut off the upper fin. Making incisions deeper and deeper. And now we just get the spine with bones and entrails. We clean the meat from all of the ugly pieces. Wipe it down with paper towels. And this is the end of the cutting. Now we marinate the fish in lime. Cut it into circles. We're done. Now we shift the lime onto our fish and distribute them out so that the lime covers the entire surface area of the meat. Done. Let's marinate that for 4 hours, after which we remove the unnecessary lime slices. Now we need a bath like this. We will cook the sturgeon in salt. We open it up. And fill up the entire bottom of the bath. Now we transfer the sturgeon to the salt. And open it up. Now we need another large container. We also fill that up with salt. Fill it up with water. And mix it. And now we cover our sturgeon with the wet salt. And press it down thoroughly with our hands. That's it. Now we send it to our giant oven. And leave it to bake for 4 hours. In the meantime, we'll make a sauce for our fish. Cut off 100 grams of butter and put it into a pan. Completely melt it and add some flour. This works like a thickener. Mix it so that it absorbs the butter. Pour in half a bottle of milk. Mix it with a whisk, breaking all the lumps. Then chop up the remaining milk. Add 3 teaspoons of nutmeg, French herbs, and basil. Mix all this until it thickens. Add some salt, and our sauce is ready. We also need some tomatoes. Cut them into slices. cheese will also serve as a filling for the fish. Cut off the part of the cheese that we need for later. And cut the rest into smaller pieces. And grate it. The fish is already baked in salt, so we take it out. We pick up the salt with a hatchet and remove it in large chunks until the sturgeon is completely open. The remaining grains of salt are simply swept away with a brush. Spread the cream sauce on the sturgeon. And spread it around. There you got it. Pine nuts are also perfect here. Evenly scatter them all over the fish. Open up a pesto sauce and sprinkle it out with a spoon. And finally, we spread out the tomatoes. Pour some olive oil on. And pop it into the oven one more time for 1 hour. For 1 hour. In the meantime, we will prepare a side dish. You need to peel the onion. Then we cut them into cubes. We light a fire. Open up some butter and send 400 grams into the cauldron. This needs to be melted. Put a lot of the chopped onions in there. They need to be fried until transparent. Now we pour out 3 kilograms of rice. And fry it dry for a couple of minutes. Now we pour in 2 liters of chicken broth and add in some water. We salt this all thoroughly and just cook the rice. While the water evaporates, grate the cheese. The rice is already cooked. Add the cheese to it. And mix it in so that it melts. The sturgeon with the filling is already baked. Now we just have to put some grated cheese on top. Let it spin another 10 minutes in the oven until the cheese is melted. After this, the sturgeon is ready. It turned out very nicely. Let's put some rice on a plate and cut off a piece of fish.